So, do you want to start late at all, or?
Yeah, can start.
Okay, should we do check-ins?
Yeah, can check in. Hmm.
We could start by doing our policy tracking.
Okay.
So
What
we're
do you
doing 0.25 hours for starting late, and then also you have to do an extra 0.1 hour for being late.
I was late for 1 minute.
Yes, 1 minute. All right, well, I'll start with the check-ins. I like 2.2. Mainly working on the payroll and the functionality plan and yeah, I guess for all the treasurer work and HR board staffing as well. I'm 1X daytime and I am willing to work on 53% pay stop and get the rest in back pay. I'll also do a statement in here.
Okay. I am 3. I was working on HR ranking, normal voting form, HR voting form, budget, and payroll. Check.
Tay, you want to check in? Oh, also, Tay, you need to do policy tracking for being late. You're 8 minutes late, I think. So that would be 0.25 hours. Hello,
Can
Tay,
you
you there? Yeah, we can hear you.
number 2? I've been working on the payroll, the functionality plan, and some outreach, and I look forward to the session check.
So just remember to do your policy tracking, and then did you guys do your statements too?
I understand we are on the 0. We are on 53 pay stop for payroll. I'm willing to get the rest as back pay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, focus desired outcomes. So I would say probably the main focus of the session would be to address the proposals. So we have Lucy's proposal and Alex's proposal that we could review and address after the HR board input. Readdress proposal after HR board input. And then we have I don't know. I mean, I guess we could talk about the functionality plan, or we could just get to work, wrap up, split up, get to work. We could also talk about, our deadlines and pay stops. We could do management training. Not that that's going to matter much. But we could do test discussion. Or we could just stop and not do anything. No one wants to be here. Or if no one wants to do anything, I mean, I don't know.
No, we can just do what you proposed, Jay.
So what do you want to start with? I didn't propose anything. I just suggested some options.
You just suggest topics. I think I would like to go through the overview of the proposals. Well, my proposal and also for
Okay, let's start with Lucy. Let's do Lucy and then Dia. Okay.
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 I don't know, we'll do 9 to 18 minutes. It shouldn't take too long.
Okay, I'm adding the tab.
Any just objections to our first topic?
No objection.
No objection.
All right. So the HR board voted, and the new priority comes out to $300 for both Lucy and I guess there is a tie here. How did that happen? You have a tie. Let's see HR board average. So I would say we would start with option 4 since the HR board would break the tie. Also, I want to look at the updated, you said you updated the individual rankings. So that would be good. So your rankings are still 239, although we do want to subtract the first 24 hours.
Was the 24 hours approved, Jay, for subtracting from the company for every person? I think it was not approved.
Let's not worry about it for now. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. So at $400, you are still at 239, which is like really good ranking, and then at $300 you're under $2, so it's like pretty much not really applicable. If we subtract the 24 hours, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but we can just see what happens. And either way, it doesn't change your ranking to subtract the 24 hours because, so it's still $2, 212 to 13. Okay. Anyways, so let's just see what we want to do here. So I would say, like, let's see what passed yesterday. We review what we passed yesterday. It was $400. So we could stick with the $400 based on the average being a tie, or we could vote on the $300, which is what the HR board was recommending. Do you guys all understand or not understand?
I don't understand.
Okay, what, do you have a question? You have a question or no?
No, I don't understand. I'm hearing minus 24 hours. I'm hearing this. I don't understand. I'm lost.
Okay, well, let's just like focus on what's going on, which is in the topic here, we are voting to pay Lucy up to $450 of back pay. So Tay, you voted for $400, right? So yesterday we approved the $400, and the HR board voted. After the HR board voted, like there was concerns about the amount of money that we're spending for the budget for next month and how it's going to affect the budget. So the HR board voted, and both 400 and 300 tied. Do you understand that, Ate, or not?
Yes, Jay.
And then if you look at the HR board's votes, they're obviously leaning towards the $300 value, if not even lower. So why don't we just go ahead and re-vote on both proposals, and then we can present that to the HR board and then be done with it. That sound good? So we have $300 and $400. I would like to add the new detail of the ranking. So this is a ranking. Whoops. Ranking top average cost per worker, right? Top average cost per worker. So you do usually get reimbursements, right? Or no?
Me?
No, for Lucy.
For what? I include everything.
So this is
Until reimbursement is there.
$2.39 per hour. And this, I don't see any reimbursements for the current month, but whatever, it's fine. So then $300.
Current one is not yet calculated. No.
Yeah, let's not worry about it. So we'll estimate it. So 185. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna go ahead and re-vote. It's only the three of us. So Jay, Ate, Lucy. Done. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any new concerns, new questions? Ate, you weren't here yesterday, so.
So I would like to know exactly what are we voting now for 3. Which amount? 400 or 350?
So it's line 49 and line 70.
Oh, okay.
So line 50, line 70. So the first one is the same proposal from yesterday, just $400. It's exactly the same proposal we voted on yesterday. And the new one is for $300, and this is based on the HR board's input. Okay, and so whatever we vote on and decide right now, we would just inform the HR board, and they can either agree or they can object. But unless the HR board attends,
I just want to know how many times should the proposal go back, coming back, go back? Because I think it was 24 hours proposals and they already voted.
the HR board gets 24 hours to voice concerns and objections. So if they said nothing and they were like, oh, we're fine, nothing, no problems, then it would be automatically passed and run. But the HR board did not do that. Instead, they had major concerns and they wanted to vote. They requested voting and they voted, and then now we have their responses. Do you not understand or what?
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, so the issue now is the HR board already took their own decision. So I don't know what we are doing. We are voting again against their decision. I don't understand. So if we still go now and tell them that we passed the one they rejected, how does it go again? Do we still go back to the HR board? That's what we'd like to know.
As a team, we are accountable to the public and to the HR board. So if we make decisions that are obviously not in alignment with the HR board and the public, then that's just wasting our time. Do you see what I'm saying? So if we want to approve right now, we can approve whatever we want. We can approve $1,000 for Lucy, but the probability that that's going to be approved is very low. So it'd kind of be a waste of time. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so why don't we go directly with the proposal of the HR board than for us to be going front and back and
Because
wasting
it
time?
tied. Because it tied. It's like the tiebreaker is the $300, which is why we're voting on both. But it's tied. See, if you look at the votes of the HR board and the votes of the team, there's 6.25 line option 2, number 15, option 17. Under our policies, we vote on whatever gets the highest support. And right now, the highest support is tied for option 2 and option 4, either $300 or $400. So it leans towards the HR board because the HR board has the tiebreak of $300, which is why we're voting on both of them instead of just one. That's our policy. Does that make sense?
Okay, Jen.
So as far as I'm concerned, if we pass the $400 one and we do not pass the $300 one, then we tell the HR board, like under our calculations for the top average cost per worker and all of this, it's like Lucy deserves this money. This is what we decided. This is what we think is right. And then we look at Alex, right? So let's take a look at Alex's top average, and we add in the $450 for Alex, and his top average is $17 per hour because he's not working, right? And then it's like, what is going on with Alex? Why should Alex be getting paid $17 per hour this month, right? That's what it comes down to. And then the board can look at Lucy. Lucy's at $185 or $2, and then they look at Alex and it's $17. That's very clear why we would approve Lucy and not approve Alex. Do you see what's going on here or not?
Yes, Jen.
Right? So the key thing here is to basically justify our decision making so that if this is going to be at least $600 to $900 that's coming out of next month's budget. This is a pretty big deal, especially in the current situation that we're in, which is that we are in really dire straits as an organization. We lost Alberto, who was like actually doing work, and somewhat he was causing a lot of problems too, but also in the client, we lost our client. So we need to get to work and move on from this. Like
Can I have the link? Can I have the link to the document
to what?
with the ranking?
Okay. I didn't even know that Lucy had even any money issues until like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, right? It was like really, really recent. So here it is. I put on line 11. So this is top average ranking cuts. So it's like, it's not my fault that Lucy did not mention anything, that she had this whole situation going on. And now we're trying to deal with it and help it. So, I mean, I think overall we are doing a pretty good job of spending hours and hours and hours trying to help Lucy, trying to help Alex, but we're also going to be following the policies, which means that we do what the organization wants, which is not whatever Lucy wants or whatever Ate wants. It's not whatever I want either. It's whatever the organization can agree to under our policies, and the HR board has the final decision. If the HR board says no, Lucy can't have a dime, that'll be the final decision. But the HR board has not said that, nor made that decision, okay? And the HR board is not required to vote on this either. We can send an HR board voting form if we want and have them vote on it, and they can make the final decision. So we could just send them a voting form with $300 and $400 and let them make the final decision. It's fine, but it's not required under our policies. It just needs to be approved in the budget. But usually we approve like,
Okay.
I don't know, a few $100s here and there. So what's going on?
Okay. Yeah, it's clear now, Jay.
Okay, so should we just go vote on both of them or what?
Let's go ahead.
Okay, so I'll vote on first. So yesterday I voted 3.5 for the $400. With the new information on the top average cost per worker, which is extremely helpful, I am willing to increase my vote to a 4.25. And for the $300, I'm a yes. So, but I'm a little concerned still because of the budget. So 6.9.
Okay.
But just to like kind of go over our policies and our model,
Let's do that.
our model is very simple. Everyone has rights. If the organization said no to Lucy, Lucy could re-propose her back pay every single week forever. And we would just have to address it and deal with it and figure it out. You know what I mean? So it's like, we have an obligation to address issues as they come up and vote and coordinate and communicate about them. And so our goal is always getting agreement and making sure that everything is agreed to and understood. And so if that means spending more time, that's what we do, because we want to treat people as human beings and we want to, collaborate and try to. And so when issues arise and people don't have agreement, then we try to make a better proposal and get better agreement. Okay, so in this case, you can obviously see a potential manipulation of the voting, right? So you can say, conflict of interest vote, and you can just do an average here in terms of, you have a 5.63 and a 6.
So conflict of interest from who?
From you, because you are the one
So
getting.
I should not vote.
No, you're allowed to vote. But the point is that obviously your vote, the way that you voted is obviously a manipulation of the vote potentially, because you voted 8.5.
I think I have the right to vote on what I request.
What, Lucy?
I think I have right to vote.
Yes.
Is there any formula that someone should vote?
Yes, you get a vote, but we can always remove somebody's vote who's a conflict of interest.
No, I don't understand. Then, Jay, we should just leave about this proposal. If these things becoming like a topic, Like yesterday, we spent a lot of time. Today again, for me, I feel like we better drop this proposal.
But it's
This
not up to you, Lucy. It's simply not your decision to make. If someone wants back pay, we just address it as an organization and we vote on it and we do it professionally. So you can't drop the proposal. It's not your decision to make. This is a decision of the organization. Do you understand?
I really have a decision. Yes, it is for organization as well. I decide, Lucy, not to continue on the proposals.
But you can't do
I
that.
don't want to. I don't want to cause anything. Let's do the work. Let
The only thing
organization.
that you can do is to not accept the money. If you don't want the money, you can send it back or whatever. But you can't spend literally 15 hours of the organization's time for the last 2 days and then just be like, meh, I don't care anymore. Meh, let's just go. Like that would make me 100 times more upset. Do you understand? Like that's not professional or acceptable in my perspective. And I feel like it just further wastes time. And it means that you're obviously manipulating the situation now. Do you understand? It's a clear manipulation. If now not only are you voting the way you're voting, but now you're basically saying like nothing even matters, everything, and you're basically grinding the whole process to a halt because you're upset. That's exactly what a manipulative process looks like, right? So you should just allow the organization to do the voting based on the proposals and the decision making of the organization, and that we're hearing everybody's perspective. We heard your perspective, Lucy. We're hearing Ate's. We're hearing mine. We heard the HR board. Let's just let the decision work itself out. But anyways, before we go into that, there's obviously issues and concerns about the policy regarding conflict of interest. So let's address that real quick.
Actually, Jay, there is no conflict of interest. I just respond to you according to say the conflict of interest. Surely, there is nothing like that.
But you obviously
I
don't know what conflict of
don't.
interest is. Conflict of interest is just a normal, simple thing that everybody has in regards to getting your own priorities, right? So if you want money, you're by definition a conflict of interest. So here's the policy that we revoted on for conflict of interest, which is very important for training and understanding how conflict of interest works and what it means. So let's take a moment to just learn, right? We're here to be trained and understand things. Otherwise, there's no point to be here. Policy. So voting on your own pay and or the pay of a spouse or a family member or a personal friend or a colleague you know in person can be considered a conflict of interest, and that can be seen as an advisory vote and removed from the final tally. Details: it is required.
Only when it comes to finance.
No, it can be related to any conflict of interest.
I've never heard you say conflict of interest on any other proposal apart of when it comes to money, Jay.
Sure, but if it's about personal value and pay, right? So it doesn't have to be, if you're getting a computer, it's the same thing. If you're getting a trip to Tahiti or a trip to Brazil or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. It's about value. It doesn't have to be money. Do you understand? It's anything that's
We are talking
valuable.
of value here.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be money. It can be any sort of value. Does that make sense?
everything valuable is money.
Sure. Yeah. If you wanted to say value, money, the same thing, yes. So the details: that are required to document outside relationships with workers as potential conflict of interest in your POP only have to go out of the way if we feel the vote affects the outcome. It only gets activated if there are concerns. So I'm activating this policy because Lucy voted an 8.5 on the first proposal. Oh, look, Alex is voting. And a 2 on the second proposal. Okay, let's see if Alex wants to vote on the other proposal. There are two line 86 as well if you want to vote on both after each. All right, so I think that's it. Also, we detailed the bylaws in the section 2.7 where it goes over conflict of interest. All right, so any other questions on the conflict of interest policy? Does that make sense? Also, we missed
None
the
from me.
break. Cool. Lucy, do you understand the conflict of interest policy? It has nothing to do personally with you, Lucy. It's literally nothing to do with you at all. It's just a policy for anybody, including myself. If we're voting on money for me and I vote, oh, 9, I want $10,000, and then it's like, oh, I'm only gonna get $5,000. I'm voting a 1, right? It's like, obviously that would be a conflict of interest for me because it's like I'm manipulating the vote to try to get as much money for myself. Do you see? Do you see? It has nothing to do with you, Lucy. It just has to do with like human nature. All right. So Alex voted.
I have a question. Is this the first proposal the owner of the who like proposed voting? Why don't we just that? How I wish you could have raised that policy, put it there. If you are proposing for your money, you should not vote. Then that could have been clear. For
Yeah,
me,
I had same issue, and you were there, Lucy. They told me that I had a conflict of interest. You were there. I'm sure you were there in the session,
yeah.
and they end up giving me $50 when I was requesting for 250. FQN, they're just playing
So basically, our policy is that everybody gets at least an advisory vote, right? So you don't have to vote, Lucy. You're not required to vote, right? But everybody can do at least an advisory vote, and it is only removed in relationship to conflict of interest. So we have a conflict of interest vote calculation in this particular instance because of the vote. It shouldn't be a big deal. It's just it is what it is. But I would want to know your vote, right? So either way, it definitely barely passes with the conflict of interest vote on this with Alex's vote, whereas this one does not pass. So our options moving forward here is one to just simply move forward with the $300, or we can vote on 350 because 350 is the next one in between, right? Option 3, 350. Also, it's good to note that 429. Oh wait, how did this get to 429? What's going on? Did I mess up? Huh. Maybe I messed up. See how it says 429 is actually higher than 425? Let's see what happens if we remove Lucy. Yeah, it definitely goes to the one before. Oh, God. So, so we can also vote on the $450 based on our policy. All right. So does that make sense that I'm reviewing this and finding that actually there is an option that with the conflict of interest gets higher? I didn't realize and notice that before, but we can show how without the conflict of interest, it goes back to where I thought I saw it from before. So I don't know if someone changed something or if I just missed it, but this is why we double check and triple check and verify everything and make sure everything's done properly, because we can make mistakes. So if we go through the conflict of interest priority, it goes back to the 400 and the 300, but we can also do the 350. Okay, so if we want to do the 350, I'm perfectly fine voting on that. I'm also fine voting on the 450. I don't think the 450 is going to pass, but we can vote on it. So we want to vote on the 450. So we have the 400, the 450, and we can vote on the 350 as well. So does this sort of make sense, or is it not making any sense? Does it sort of make sense, or is it not making any sense? Can anyone talk to me, or?
Yes, Jay. You know, what you do, we are here. If just do it, Jay. Go ahead.
All right, well, let's just vote on these so that we can get, final agreement, because my goal is simply getting the maximum possible agreement that we can. If we can get a higher agreement with 350 than we can with 300, then that's the correct answer. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's just a matter of getting the maximum agreement. As an organization, if you work against the goals of the organization, it's always going to take longer. Right? But under our decision-making model, the correct decision will always be found, which is the compromise between everybody involved to get the highest possible support. Right? That's the process, and it works every time. Okay? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I can obviously see here under the voting, and I'm trying to do everything totally neutrally. We should put under the policies, we're supposed to vote on option 1 because it got 629 with the regular vote. We're also supposed to prioritize option 2 and option 4 because of the conflict of interest, and then we're also supposed to be prioritizing option 4 in relationship to the HR board vote. All right, this is just clear from the voting. So I would just say, let's just go ahead and vote on the last two proposals, 450 and 350, and then we're good. Like everything is perfect after that because we covered every single possible proposal. And then we can also even update this and detail it in relationship to the 350, which is going to be $2.12. So, I mean, for me, it's just like, we should do the same thing for Alex. Whatever the consensus for the organization for Alex is, we just do it. If we just all do it together instead of fighting me and fighting the process, it'll go literally 10 times faster. If we just all work together to find the agreement between everybody involved, it goes very quickly. But when everybody goes against every single step, it slows everything down. Do you understand?
Yes, Jay.
Anyways, 350, I'm going to vote a 6.9. I am exactly the same vote as before. I'm obviously against 450. So, would you all want to vote?
You first of all voted 7 after voting 6.9.
I'm voting 6. I'm voting the same as before. So before I was 6.9, and now I'm voting 6.9. So I'm 6.9 on both 300 and 350, right? So I mean, I guess technically I could be a 6.8 or whatever, but it's like.
So I think that's policy tracking.
The conflict of interest fully passes. I know everyone hasn't voted yet, so you can change your vote as long as not everybody has voted. So we're still waiting for Lucy to vote. She doesn't want to vote. She doesn't have to vote. Then if I change my vote, then it would be a policy. But I wasn't even looking at anyone's vote. I was just like answering your question, which saying, oh, it's a little bit more expensive, so maybe I'll go down a tiny little bit. But either way, this 350 passes higher than the 300. Do you see that?
Yes, Jay.
Conflict of interest vote. And this also passes, but we haven't heard Lucy's vote, so we're waiting for Lucy's vote.
She's not obliged to vote, so we can just move forward.
No, she needs to tell us that. We're human beings. We're communicating. She voted on both the proposals from before. We're adults.
If I vote is a conflict of interest, let me just
That's not how the policy works. You can have an advisory vote. If you don't want to vote, you don't have to. Just let us know. But it's not a conflict of interest for you to vote. It's a conflict of interest for you to, manipulate the outcome of the decision in a conflict of interest. That's
how am I manipulating, Jay? You use some word by the it hurts me a lot. When you say manipulating, it's like somebody having an election and someone go there in that system and change the election results.
Yeah, so
How am I?
I'm not saying you manipulated. I'm saying you potentially can have a manipulation because of conflict of interest. It's a neutral process where to ensure that
Being
there's
a
no
beggar woman
corruption.
is so bad, by the way.
What? What did you say? What was that? I didn't hear.
Yeah, she says she won't vote. Can we go ahead?
But I didn't hear her say that. All she said is she feels like she has conflict of interest or whatever, and that she doesn't want to vote, which is not the
I
case.
will not vote.
Okay, you don't want to vote.
Thank
All right.
you.
Refusing to vote.
Not refusing.
Oh.
You
What
are
are you?
using Jay, you make life hard. I did
Okay,
not say
so wait.
refuse.
What do I
Because
write then?
according to the conflict of interest,
How
I should
about
you
not
said that
not
the
willing to
policy
vote?
say if your friend, someone who knows you, voted is a conflict of interest. If you are voted for your own proposal, conflict of interest, then I should abstain. At least I see people voted for me. Is that still
That
refusing?
that would make a lot of sense if you abstained. An abstained vote is a 5. That's exactly what an abstain is. You voted a 2.
Ay,
So if you voted a
God.
5, it would
They
make a
say I don't vote. Don't put any five there.
I'm not putting a 5. You didn't vote. So what do you want me to write? Not willing to vote, not voting? I mean, I don't care. I'm not trying to do anything personally against you, Lucy. And I'm fine to talk about this as long as we need to. It's more important to understand the policies and understand what we're doing as workers in trying to build a system that's not about corruption and prevents corruption. And this is more important than anything else that we do.
There's no corruption here, Jay. I'm not seeing corruption anywhere.
But it's only because of the policies. Do you understand? We're trying to train and educate and build a model that people can use to reduce corruption and end societal abuse in the world. That's our goal. Right? So it's extremely important to be discussing these things. This is the most important training here that we can do, is to have clarity and to figure out how to communicate these things in a neutral way. This is 100 million times more important than the money. I'll send you all the money you want. I don't care about the money. What I care about is communicating and working as a team to make decisions that are, building consensus and making sure that everybody's considered and that it's a fair process and that we have good vocabulary and that it's neutral and it's functional. That's what I care about. So how do we do that? Because obviously what I said right now is unacceptable. We need better vocabulary. We need better communication to make sure that we can communicate. Otherwise, we need to do a contentious session. Hello?
Yes, Jay.
And we need vocabulary. I need to know what Lucy just did. So we can either say not willing to vote, or we can say not voting, or I just need to say something. And then Ate, you didn't vote either, so we need to
You
figure that out.
can say not voting. That is at least better than say refusing.
Great.
I didn't vote.
Vocabulary together. Not on line 119.
I thought I voted. I voted.
You voted on line 143 for the second proposal.
119. I think 7.
Okay. All right, see, it wasn't that hard. If we just stay focused and we go move forward, it's really not that difficult. It's where we get unfocused and everything gets, really bad. But anyways, I would personally like to spend a moment just making sure everything's fine and that everything's good with Lucy and like we don't need to address anything else. Otherwise, we should schedule a vibe session or a contentious session and make sure that there's clarity on what's going on. And I apologize for using the term manipulation. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe a vote. Let's get a better vocabulary term, right? Let's try thesaurus, right? So thesaurus. So when I say manipulating the vote, it's not, or we could call it acting out. Maybe we should use acting out.
It's like stealing. When you talk of manipulation, it's like stealing, in form of stealing.
But that's It's not. It has to do with administration, direction, handling, use. It has nothing to do with stealing. It's just a manipulative process, and it leads to corruption. It's not like corruption's not stealing, right? Corruption is
Of
actually
course it is. It's a bad thing.
to using the legal system to benefit yourself. That's what corruption is. It has nothing to do with stealing at all.
Corruption is stealing. We have leaders who are corrupt. They steal the public fund. That is stealing. Corruption is also the same like stealing.
Corruption can be stealing, but it's not always stealing, right? Stealing typically is because you stole in a legal sense, but if you're doing it legally, then you're not necessarily anyways, I don't know. I think maybe the best term would be acting out. That sound good? This is just a form of acting out. We can talk more about acting out. Does that sound good in turn, or what? What is so funny?
Yeah, at times I just sit and I just like feel like laughing because we spend our time turn on the same page, on the same spot. At times, I just believe that you think we are kids. I don't know how I can put it. I don't even know the term, as you said. Um, we should look for better terms. But to me, I don't know. The real form of manipulation to me is what you are trying to do to us working in FQN. That's my what I've
Okay,
been
so
observing for the past.
that would be vibes, and that would be a contentious situation. So contentious situation, Tay feels that the real manipulation is what Jay is doing to her and others in FQ. That's a great thing to be discussing. If you think that I'm manipulating you in the group, that is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing, and the most evil possible thing I could imagine doing, and I would want to address that immediately, cancel everything, and spend however long to address that till we fix it, because it's serious, very, very serious. So shall we do that? Can we immediately schedule a contentious situation? Because if you're saying that I'm manipulating you and everybody else, then I would not want to continue. Like, it's very, very serious to me.
You see exactly what I'm now. When you said Lucy is manipulating, we had to continue the session. Now that I
Yeah,
said what I
I
also
said
feel.
that Lucy acted out. Okay, if we want to use a vocabulary term we all agree on, if we agree on acting out, I said that Lucy acted out in voting on this one single proposal for her pay, for her voting a 8.5, which is almost congruency for getting paid $400, but for getting paid $300, which is $100 less when her pay is not even $200 a month. She's getting over a whole month's paycheck. That would be me getting like over $3,000 or something like that, right? She voted a 2, right? That for me, that's acting out, because it's just obvious that $300 is a pretty good deal, right? If I was getting $3,000 instead of $5,000, I would be freaking stoked. I would not be voting a 2, right? It's one single vote. It's for her. What you said is that the entire process of FQN and the way that I'm running everything, that you're saying I'm manipulating everything. That's what I heard from you.
Yeah, it's the same as let's use another term, acting out. That's how I feel it.
The what?
You just change the term from manipulating to work to acting out, right? That's equally how I
There needs
feel.
to be a term. What is the term?
You said acting out. That's the term I'm equally using.
Yeah, acting out is fine. If that's what we all agree on as the vocabulary term is acting out, then I'm fine with that. Whatever it is, if anybody ever votes a 8 on one proposal to get paid and a 1 or a 2, they voted an 8 or 9 for $500 and a 1 or a 2 for $400, I'm always going to say that is either acting out or whatever vocabulary term we have to agree on when someone is voting in a way that affects the outcome of the vote, right? Going back to the policy, right? you only go out of your way if you feel that the voting affects the outcome. And it only gets activated if we feel that the vote of the individual who is potentially acting out or whatever is affecting the outcome of the decision being made. And in any case where someone's voting a 8 or 9 on one proposal and then a 1 or 2 on the other proposal for their own personal gain, it has nothing to do with Lucy, it has nothing to do with you, Ate. It has everything to do with just decades of experience. I know that is acting out. I know that is a personal, acting out of the voting to change the outcome. Alberto did it all the time. Other people do it as well sometimes, and it should be called out every time. And it has nothing to do, it's not personal, it is simply part of the process of making decisions.
Okay, Jay, can we move forward?
Well, no, absolutely not. If we need to schedule a contentious situation because you think I'm manipulating the entire system of FQN, that's a huge problem. And I want more
Jay,
clarity.
schedule the contentions then.
All right, let's do it. Let's schedule a contentious session then. So we have a new contention. So we can start by taking a break and we can update all the information here and then we can go from there. And I'm really sorry that I'm trying to not have corruption in the organization, and that obviously you're, I don't know, against that for some reason. So take a 5-minute break, shall we? And then we can go on to Alex.
Yes, Jay. So if you are taking 5 minute break and going to Alex, so what's the outcome of Lucy?
$350. We approved it. It's right here. Line
Okay.
131. $350 passed. And Lucy didn't vote. So I can send that to the HR board on the updates.
Again.
What?
Again to the HR board.
The HR board oversees everything that affects the budget. Anytime a decision is made that affects the budget, the HR board needs to be notified and review, and they have to vote on the budget every single month. So this $350 will be included in next month's budget and be reviewed and voted on by the HR board. But for now, we're just notifying them that this is happening. Do you understand, or you just don't get it? Like, we are accountable.
Yeah, guys.
Just sit here and spend hours and hours paying ourselves for whatever we want. The HR board is a part of this organization, and if you don't want to be involved in an organization with an HR board, then go somewhere else. Like, I don't understand why you guys are getting upset about communicating with the HR board. They are the ones who have the decision-making authority about the budget, and we cannot sit here and pay ourselves endless money without communication and oversight from the HR board. That is the model. That's always been the model that is always
Jay.
operate. And the same thing for me. If I want to get paid a bunch of money, it has to go to the HR board. I can't just sit here and pay myself thousands and thousands of dollars. If I was making a back pay proposal, $350 would be $3,500. Do you understand?
Yes, Jay.
And then that would go to the HR board just the same as everybody else.
Okay.
All right, so can we take a 5-minute break now? And I'm sorry that I'm getting vibes,
Yes, Jay.
but I'm feeling like I'm doing my best to address a very difficult situation. I don't want to be sitting here talking about paying Lucy and Alex $500 to $1,000 extra dollars. This is not what enjoyable at all for me. I want to be focusing on the work. I want to be moving things forward. I'd much rather be talking about policies related to acting out and addressing contention in the world. I'd much rather be doing that. But instead, we're sitting here talking about paying, and then we're going to spend 5 hours on payroll. Everyone's get paid, so it's fine. But the idea that I'm doing this because I want to, I just don't understand it. So anyways, let's take a 5-minute break. We'll come back, we can address to Alex, and we can move on, and we can address the contentious situation, because I'm obviously vibes, because it's just a little, I'm not feeling respected either. So let's just address that in the contention.
going to Taco Bell.
Okay. I get a little breaky here soon. Do you want to wait for a second? Well, just to give my sister a huggy, huh?
Well, I guess
Just 1 minute.
What?
Just needs like a couple seconds. All right.
Do you have any cash?
No, but I wanted to go to the bank and try to figure out financial cash and stuff because I want to get like $100 bills in front of you. I also have some checks I could deposit. You guys want to see for a little cash? Can you just send you some money in the bank? You have money? So what do you need? What do you need the cash for?
I don't know. I was going to talk about within like place to work. I mean, pick up things and go.
Oh, you accidentally made it over there? So you're just looking for tip money? Papa's deals like $5. Papa's asleep. You have to wake him up, or? Oh boy.
Found
Cash. Nice.
One change over there.
Does anyone want to continue?
I'm back.
All right. So now we go to the next topic. Should I make the tab or?
Yeah, go ahead and make the tab, Jim.
Oh, wait, no, we need to do a view up. Let me add contentious situation regarding manipulation versus acting out. Tab vibes. I don't even know. So what do we want to talk about next? Do we just go on to Alex or what?
Yeah, we agreed to go on Alex. Let's go on Alex.
Okay. We also obviously did like an hour of policy tracking there for going over on Lucy's topic. Not good. Oh boy. So this is going to be Alex. So do you have agreement, Lucy? Is Lucy here? Lucy, are you on mute?
Yes, I'm good.
Are you good for topic 2 on Alex?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and make the tab. So here's the voting for Alex. You can see how Alex voted very, very differently in relationship to his votes. Yeah, what goes like 8 and then 7s, then 6 and 5s and 4s, you know, so he was very gradual with his voting. So for me, I see that and I don't see any potential conflict of interest with his voting. So it's $300 is the top vote. Right? Is that like correct? Let's try not to make the same mistake as last time.
Yes.
Because last time I obviously got it wrong. All right. So this would be 300, and then we would turn $300 into back pay, and then voting with Tay Lucy. I don't know if Alex wants to vote, but let's make sure that we get the updated rankings for Alex, which is at $300 would still be $11.63. For New World, that's not too bad. All right. Shall we go ahead and vote?
Yes.
6.9 again.
I'm voting a 7.
Alex says he's gonna vote. Let's see what would be the next vote. Would be a $500 would be the next highest, right? Nope, the next highest would be $350. So if this one doesn't pass, we go to $350, and then we would go to 500. So Alex says that it's fine. So this barely passes. I guess I'll just give it a 7 and make it pass and do policy tracking for changing my vote, because it goes both ways. So policy tracking, 0.25 hours for changing a vote from 6.9 to 7 so that the proposal clearly passes. All right. So any questions on this proposal?
No question.
All right, so I'm finding this as a separate topic, but I do want to discuss the process for breaking contracts in law. I feel like we can do that within Alex's topic, or we can make it a separate topic. Do you want to make it a separate topic real quick, or should we discuss it within Alex?
I don't first of all understand the topic.
Well, you weren't here yesterday, but yesterday we voted for Alex to, again, for the second time, to pay Alex outside of Workana, which is against contract and against contract law, right? So I can put that into Alex's if we don't.
Yeah, I saw it in the note.
Yeah, so I want to go over this as well.
Go ahead, Jay.
So do we want to make it a separate topic or just within Alex?
Let's be
So
You can
within.
make it within.
within Alex, okay? Sound good?
Yeah.
So the proposal for this, so it was approved by the HR board, as far as I know. But the proposal for this is that this would be a policy revote. So my understanding is this is already policy, but I want to revote on it because we want to make sure it's in writing and that there's clarity from everybody. So the policy would be that when the team or anyone votes to break a legal contract or the law, that it must automatically be escalated to the board or the boards with legal responsibility and authority. This would be part of PLASMA, which is public leadership accountability for shareholders, members, and owners. Then if the board chooses to do something against contract or illegal, the membership is required to be notified as part of PLASMA, but not required to vote on it. Yeah, everything is basically 24 hours. Yes. Yeah, so the question is how much time would people get to review and address it? I would say 24 hours for sure. On something like this. If it's something more serious and we have other concerns and bigger issues, then obviously we would give longer than 24 hours, but just like a normal proposal, just like 24 hours. And this is pretty minor either way. But technically, as far as like the goal here is not addressing this particular contract as a major concern. Obviously, the team and the HR board would not be voting yes to break this contract without people obviously feeling like this is not a big deal, right? But the question is, what if there was a contract with a client or a contract with someone else that we're breaking? What is the process for it? And the bottom line is that the people who have to legally address the court case should be responsible for the final decision and at least be informed, right? And that is not the team, and that is not the HR board. Only the actual board of directors is legally responsible. So this is the difference between a management decision and a legal decision. All legal decisions always go to the board of directors, because they are the ones, if we got sued, who'd have to actually deal with it, not the team, not the HR board. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's the policy, just revote. So I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. So are there any other questions or concerns? None?
Yes.
There's no concerns?
No concerns for me.
Okay. So then do we have objections?
No.
I feel like there might be a concern. Let me think about this. So, I mean, I think there is a concern. The concern is that, any breaking of any allowance, like allowing any breaking of any contract or law is concerning at all, right? The fact that we even allow this in our organization to happen, I think, is of concern, right? So let's make sure we are clear in voting on it. So Jay, Ate, Lucy, Alex, you must have voted. So I think it's pretty important to have, and if we have supportive consensus on it, it'd be great, see where the consensus is. Because I think, so I'll also add that to the concerns. We also, for supportive consensus. So I'm voting at 8.5.
I'm voting at 7.
Lucy is a 7. So,
Ati.
oh yeah, sorry, Tay, it's a 7. Lucy did not vote yet.
I voted 7 and you just deleted.
Oh, okay. So both Lucy and Ate are 7. Is that right?
Yes, Jay.
All right. So I don't know if Alex wants to vote. Do you want to vote on the policy proposal of automatically escalating contract breaches to the board of directors? All right. So for now, we can just note that it's not voting, but this obviously passes. Not voting. All right. So does anyone want to do all the proposals, or should I do the proposals?
Let me take them to the decision channel.
Okay, and overall, it's like I shouldn't even have to ask. If I have to ask every single time before anyone lifts a finger, that is exactly the definition of dysfunctionality. We're just not functioning as a team. If you guys come here to the session, you just sit here, and I have to ask you to do every single little thing for like the 20th or 30th or 50th time, because I'm always asking people to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and send this one to the decision makers as well. And then we do a quick little summary. So to summarize, the team took the HR board's review and concerns into consideration and reduced the back pay for both Lucy and Alex by a small amount. Also, since the team and HR board are proving the breach of contract, that automatically gets escalated to the board of directors for final review. All right. So we are done with all of that. So we take another 5-minute break, or do you want to? Let's take a 5-minute break, then we can do a view up, or we can wrap up. We're going to decide how we want to move forward. Okay.
Okay, Joe.
just went out.
You get some food.
Huh?
You went to get some food? Mhm.
I knocked on the door to see if he wanted to go get some food with me, but he didn't answer. So if you guys wanted to go out and get some food tonight, I don't know. I still need to get something for Louie, and I just don't have a clue.
Well, we haven't got anything for anybody. So we need to go shopping too, I guess. I don't know. It's difficult when you don't have a lot of money to buy anything. All right, let's see here. Is anyone even coming back or no?
I'm back.
Okay. What else do we want to discuss, or do we want to wrap up? Check out.
Maybe, I don't know.
And I'm fine wrapping up and checking out. And for me, mainly my interest is contentious situation. I would like to propose the schedule for that for tomorrow, Andromeda Hour 2. So if we want to wrap up and go through scheduling proposal, we can do that. But otherwise, I'm fine wrapping up, checking out, being done. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Because I just want to, I mean, the whole thing for this week is I was just really hoping to get focused on the work and moving forward and getting functional, and that obviously didn't happen. So I don't know what else to do in terms of like moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you can just wrap up.
All right. So do you want to vote on this proposal for contentious situation? Well, this will be Friday, Saturday, tomorrow. Andromeda Hour 2. Can you do that, Ate? Maybe Ate's not back. Lucy, does that work for you or what?
Do we, tomorrow is Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday.
Okay. Let's hear from Ate. Why not then we can do that contest attestation now, if there is a need.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it right now. Absolutely, if we want to prioritize it. For me, I don't think there's any other higher priority.
Instead of tomorrow.
Yes, we can do it now.
Okay, so let's prioritize the topic.
Okay, let's put a stop. Yeah, the topic is there already.
There's a lot of really bad background noise.
What did you say, Jay? I'm on mute. Hello?
We can hear you. It's just really bad background noise. I don't know why I was making this weird noise. Yeah.
Yes, it's there's no electricity, so I'm using my backup time now. Now my battery, the battery of my computer running down, so I just plug in the computer to the backup. That's why the noise. If I unplug it, my computer is going to go off.
No, I guess the desired outcome is to try to address the vibes and figure out how to move forward with the team. Maybe identify issues that we need to apply. But I don't know, 24 to 48 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so do we have agreement on topic 3? Okay.
Yes, Jay. I hope the noise from my background is not that too bad.
I don't know.
Not bad. We are okay.
Just there. So we have agreement on topic 3.
But
Should
I
I make?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make the tab. All right, so I'll just put my summary up here in terms of what I got through on this. Whoa. Good. So I don't know exactly where to start. I would say overall, we just do a round. I mean, I don't think we're like in a serious situation where we need to do non-violent communication or anything. So maybe just start with a round. That sound good?
Yes, Jay.
Yes.
I don't see why we should be violent.
Do you want to start, Ate? I didn't understand the.
No, go ahead. I heard you talk of non-violent communication, so I said I don't see why we are supposed to be violent.
I still don't understand you, but yeah, we can just do a round. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start, or what?
Start, Jay.
Okay. So, I don't know if anyone take notes, but I can take notes for myself. So like generally speaking, like note taking the major
I really,
issues.
I really can't take note because there's darkness here. I'm not seeing my keyboard very well.
Let me try to take a bit.
Yeah. So overall, the overall work situation is very, 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 very concerning. It just feels like pulling teeth to get anyone to do, basic things. I don't say anyone, I'll say just like, get the team to do basic priorities like taking notes. It's like, do I really need to ask for the like 80th time to take notes or copy and paste a decision, or whatever? It's just like it gets old after a while. So I'm just like the overall momentum is basically very, very low. We're really bad shape as a team. Seriously reconsidering everything. I'm confident we do have, based on our budgets, 2 to 3 months. So I'm not like in dire strait. We're like, oh my God, we only have a couple weeks left before we have to go bankrupt or whatever, and like fire everybody and like end. 2 to 3 months is not a very long time to be able to try to pull something out here to get it functional. So so it's still very, very concerning. So my main priority focus is obviously income. And my secondary priority focus is recruitment, because I think that our team is failing and not functional. People don't show up for work, certainly not on time. In fact, for today, we had a lot of people saying they were going to be on time. So what we have here, we had, I don't see it. Oh, Joyce was supposed to be here on time. Mamoon was supposed to be here on time. Alex did okay. I mean, he communicated. Sandra, no, nothing, right? So, I mean, I would say that we have a lot of 2-hour policy practice, right? So at Joyce, at Sandra, at Mamoon, 2-hour policy tracking each for skipping, for no show happening session. Yeah, so I mean, I'm working, I don't know. I mean, me and Lucy, both of us are working our butts off. Just say go for last month. Last month, I worked, wonderful, my computer's not working. I think it was 118 hours for the month, 120 hours. I don't really remember. Either way, this is not working, which is very unfortunate. All right, here I worked 135 hours, 136 hours last month, 136 hours last month. So, and that's only the time that I tracked. All right, so I'm not saying other people didn't work, but obviously I'm doing everything I can to move things forward and help out, especially for what the team needs. The team says they want more, functionality on the payroll. So I've been putting a lot of time into that. So when it comes to just like hearing this idea that everything that I do is like a manipulation of the organization, it saddens me. It makes me feel attacked. It makes me feel, like I'm not appreciated. It makes me feel like that it's all for nothing. It makes me feel that, obviously anything I do is irrelevant, right? That it's not helpful, that basically, and all I'm trying to do is follow policy, right? And if the policies are bad, then let's change the policies. Right? If you don't have a proposal or idea how to change or improve the policies, then why attack me? Why say something to me saying that I am, in a negative perspective in general? Because it wasn't about any specific action that I did. It was just it felt like a direct personal attack to me as an individual human being, not anything that I did or any specific action that you could discuss. So that would my primary request is to Ete is what did I do? And if all I did was basically you don't know just in general, then it's really, really, really upsetting. And that's basically all I have to say. Check. And I guess I'll add, since no one's going, I'll add that I do want to find good vocabulary that we can use to actually communicate our policies and information correctly without triggering, vibes and contention.
Are you done?
Yeah, so.
Okay, I'll go next.
Oh, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, just that I apologize, as I already wrote and as I already did before, it's for saying anything that was misconstrued. I was not in any way trying to personally attack anybody or tell anybody that they were doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to follow the policies. I'm just trying to create a neutral process, neutral situation, and try to get agreement with the entire team, which includes the HR board and the organization as a whole. So I'm sorry, and I apologize if I hurt someone's feelings. And I'm hoping that we can figure out how to move forward in the best way so we can actually get focused and do work. All right, check.
Okay, I'll go next. Can I go next? Or you still have something to say?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, you can start by apologizing if you felt attacked. But as I said before, when you use the word manipulate, and Lucy and I clearly state that manipulation was a bad word, but you try to define it your own way. And when I use the same word, you felt hurt.
No, I don't
So
care about the word. It was about the way that you used it. You didn't use it in relationship to an actual process or activity.
I'm
It's not
coming
the
to
word
that.
at all. Sorry. Policy tracking.
It's okay. So in respect to why I use the word, I've noticed that when it comes to giving workers maybe back pay or salary or payroll, there is always this attitude of you not wanting to. You're a good person, Jay. I've always appreciated working with you, but you have one fault when it comes to like giving workers what they deserve. There are a lot of policies that are being automatically created because we can't verify that these policies exist. Or most of the policies we just hear them one day, like the policy of manipulate. How do you call that again? The policy that came up with the manipulation. What was that again?
Conflict of interest?
Conflict of interest. This came up. I am the first person that you you came up with that conflict of interest. And seriously, that day, I had to shed tears because I really felt bad. I could not like make you guys feel that I was shedding tears, but I really felt bad that you have a proposal for $250 and then you are being voted 50 because there is conflict of interest. When I have been analyzing so much of those things, and when it comes to payment, there are always policies that just popping from nowhere. There is no verification. You always say that everything is based on verification. But all those policies you bring in when it comes to payment, even had to go through the notes of yesterday and I realized that for a whole month, the core of maybe the aim of FQN is to make the world a better place. How do you explain making the world a better place giving a worker $29 for a month? It doesn't make sense
Or
to me. So really you
well, I
are
understand. I didn't the last part.
I said I went through the notes of the session of yesterday during my time and I realized that you guys you made some calculations on payroll and the 38 is somebody will be having like $19, $29 for a month. And I'm like, is this making the world a better place or making the people that are working for you go poorer and poorer, suffer the more? I don't understand because seriously, most of us we are women and we can't have like two, three jobs. We can't manage like two, three jobs. We just have to stick to one. And we are here on FQ and someone like me, I have a baby. I I don't have time to go for other jobs. So when I stick to FKN, I work like the past days. I have decided to come back and work normally as I've been working before. But when you start seeing something like $29 a month, what am I doing with that? It's not. It will never buy my baby's milk. It will never even buy anything. Nothing in my house. So it's really frustrating because policies are just coming in from left to right when it comes to payment. Payment is delayed. You go like 2, 3 months. We are in debt. And then when someone is having a debt, an urgent situation, you come and you want to request your back pay, and they say it is conflict of interest. That's what was said to me. That's where the conflict of interest, the policy just appeared from nowhere, and I was the one that was first attacked by the policy of interest, conflict of interest, and I was shocked that so many of the other workers stay kept quiet, and now it has attacked Lucy, and she's equally hurt. So they're equally words that you used, like manipulation, conflict of interest. When we make a proposal is to vote. If there's a conflict on interest on proposal to get back pay, there should equally be conflict on interest on other proposals. All the proposals should have conflict. Why only for back pay? When we work overtime, we work like now. I'm supposed to pay 1.5 hours. I'm sitting here for more than how many hours, and we have a serious issue, the contention we have to address. Okay, if I now say I have already worked my 1.5 hours for the day, I will not attend the contention session. It will still be another contention session that you're going to propose. So you see, at times we find ourselves very difficult to even work, even understand what we are even doing. Someone like me, I feel like I'm volunteering for FQN. This is just a volunteer job. This is not a paid work. I can't say I'm a paid worker. I'm not a paid worker. I'm volunteering because there is nothing at the end of the day. For 50, 58, for 155, I worked a lot, but I'll be paid maybe like only 250, 51 or 250 something. And then at the same time, you bring in another policy, and the money will be sliced, and I will not even have the 255. So I don't even know what. At times when I sit, I just I just think, and what are we doing in FKN? Are we volunteering? Are we paid workers at the end of the day? Because the policies, I don't know. When I joined FKN, I asked that, is there a place where I can get all the policies, study them very well? Because normally when you are working somewhere, you should have all the policies so that if you go against policy, you know that there was a policy like this and you are going against it. But there is no policy. You don't see it anywhere. You just see the policy just pop up one day when there's a situation. Every day we have new policies. Every day we have new policies that J brings in to suit a situation. When it comes to pay, it's an issue. And even if we do 10,000 recruitment, J, take this from me, you will never have a functional team when the payment is not okay. If we like, let's keep recruiting, let's recruit. They will still come and they will go. They will come and they will go. Anyone that is not strong cannot stand FQN. FQN is not meant for the weak-hearted. If you see anyone standing FQN, means the person is really strong. So when it comes to payment, that is the bottom line. All of us, when we applied, we said we wanted to be paid workers. Everyone. Then when the payment is not there, people will have to leave. Someone will come into an organization and they are being told that other workers for the past they are still pending like 2 3 months salary. Who is going to work? Then to cloud it all, they'll say you're working on half pay, 53%, 75. This is just the first time I'm seeing such an organization. People won't work, they will go and we'll be spending time recruiting, go on upfront pay stuff for recruitment for no interest, no benefit. Because the organization will still recruit, they will go, we keep recruiting, going on upfront pay stuff, pay working as volunteers for upfront pay stuff for recruitment when there will be no worker that will be available. No one is going to stay behind to do the work. So at the end of the day, we should really think it out and work on these policies very well, Jay. We should work on the policies because these policies that attack payment, which is supposed to be the base. I guarantee you that if the payment is being done on time, people settle their problems. Everyone is going to give in to work in FQN. Everyone. When my payment was on time, I had to put it, I have been working in FQN, putting a lot of hours, all night for a week. Because I know at the end of the day, if I focus on FQN, I'll be able to buy my baby's milk. I'll be able to put food on the table. I'll be able to do one or two things, pay rent, school fees for children. But when you put in the hours and the money is not coming, you have to now stop, drop FQN, slow down, and run around to look for money to settle your problems. Then when now we slow down, you start saying the team is not functional. How should the team be functional on an empty stomach? There is no way. There is no way the team will be functional on an empty stomach. So you should really think of the way you bring up these policies. People are grumbling, but they don't want to see it. You should think of the way you're bringing up the policies. Check.
Lucy,
Yes, yes. I think I'm just almost the same. I will begin of talking on the word manipulation and interest. I really felt hurt. I felt bad when you said conflict of interest. I'm like, how? Because according to my understanding, when you use the word conflict of interest, it's like you are like there is something that I'm creating. Maybe I have a team, then that person support me indirectly. I did not understand the conflict of interest. I myself alone, no one was involved. It was only my vote that is still bring conflict of interest. And again, when I refuse to vote, you say manipulating. I don't understand why you took serious the word of manipulation when Ate was saying manipulation, because you use as well manipulative words to me. What am I manipulating actually in FQN? Who am I manipulating? On which way? Did I tell anyone not to do the job in FQN? That is manipulation. Do you know, have I ever sit down and maybe create a group or telling people, don't do this work, this FQN, you don't get payment? That is manipulation. You are manipulating something. Like a politician, you manipulate people. You go and get other parties. You manipulate them. You go and tell them something so that they can join you for you to gain something. I don't have anything to gain. How can I manipulate my own vote? To be honest, even though we change like acting, doing all this, for me, I feel like that is not a proper way you should address. And the second thing, I strongly have to talk about this back pay. I think we should, according to me, please don't misquote me. I think we should just get this issue of back pay. We forget it. We just say money that you can help you, maybe not really money, something that can help you, maybe in 10 years, not now. Because if I worked, I know I have a back pay. If you request, it's a problem. It has to go back to voting board and you do this. And I realize that when you vote on something bad, it's a problem.
If you vote on
When you
something right,
high, it's a problem. Allow me to finish.
I don't
Yes.
understand what you said. You vote if you voting on what?
On
Something bad.
propose when you are voting bad on proposal that it favor your heart maybe or any organization is a problem. If I vote is against that proposal, it is a problem. When I vote on the proposal that I feel like these are proposal that this is what I want, it's also against the organization. I think, can you, Jay, come up clearly about the back pay issue so that somebody works knowing that I'm getting this rest as a back pay? Sometimes, even that statement, I doubt because if I get the rest as a back pay, how will I get that back pay? Can you give it even a years then? Maybe you come up with the clear say this proposal as a back pay, this back pay, you will not get it even now. It will take time for you to get maybe 3 to 5 years for you to get that back pay. Because everybody is working and they do statement always, I will get the rest as back pay. I will get the rest as a back pay. But when it comes to proposing is an issue. I just feel like, can you come up with a clear proposal or policy on back pay that will solve all the issue that we have? That will clear anything. So that if somebody is not willing to work on like not doing much work, they'll just know. There is no need of someone to put much time because later it's a problem. If you propose a problem, it's an issue. It's just a big problem. We just waste all this session talking about one thing, coming back, coming again. I just need, just let us have a clear objective on this issue of back pay. Come to hours that we are given 1.5. I think I already talked about that. One on that 1.5. Remember, is still there is like 50%, 50% of not getting work done. That means, according to my calculation, for you to get that 1.5 even, you have to work more extra, like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, for you that to get that 1.5 hours payment. It does that. Now, how is the team going to function? If I get hired, I know I get my payment per hour is $3 or $2. At the back of my mind, I already do calculation. I know by the end of the month, I have this thing, I have to buy this, I have to buy food, I have this, you take care of the kids, you take care of other people that you are around. Then, like, after doing all these things, the work was not done. Yes, the work is not done. What the best procedures? What can you do? Is it the policy say if the work not get done, we reduce? Then also that if the problem of getting the work done, I think we should not like reduce what people works already because we have also reduced on this upfront 50%. You cannot go and reduce again to like cutting again goes to bonus. It's just draining me. To me, it's like I don't understand myself as I'm speaking right now. I'm confused. I don't know where to start and where to end. No one can understand your situation unless you yourself, you understand who you are, the situation that you are in. Even if I tell you right now, I have not eaten yesterday up to now, you will not believe unless you are here with me and see the situation that I'm in. Working in FQL, I love working. I love doing work. If I don't get anything done, I spend more time, even if I'm free, like to make sure I understand this responsibility. I just go through thinking, what can I do? I even drop my own thing, thinking, how can I get this work done in FQL so that we cannot be in this 50% and this. I have done all my best. Without food or with the food, I still like it's still just frustration. I just feel like as we have a vote that empower you, that we voted last time, we voted last time to empower you do the policies. We empower you to do those policies. Kindly come up with the clear policies or guiding FQN so that we can do the work without frustration, so that you cannot get frustrated. You know, when you are frustrated, for you to restart yourself and do the job is not like we are all human. When you think that things are not working, you feel so bad. When you someone propose the payment, actually, it has something to do with also work. When somebody proposes some payment, it doesn't mean that they really need that a lot of money. Maybe there is something emergency that person need. And I know mine. I was like requesting because I have an issue. If I don't get that money, I'm very sure even by tomorrow for me, by tomorrow I will not be working because whatever was proposing is just taking time, is not going to help. Then I'm now relaxing, taking a breath and see what I should do so that I can work fully in FQN without disturbing people organization in FQN to give me some money for this and this, because I don't want to do policy tracking for that because it is against the policy. Since this is a contested session, I have no issue of mentioning it. I do my proposal because I need to buy a laptop I work. If that is an issue, I even explain. I the first payment. I'm thinking, oh, now that I get a job, let me get at least $150 to pay this an installment for a loan laptop. I remain with the $450. It's an issue. Going back, it's like I'm taking free money. Also, I really request those decision makers also to know if they're making their decisions based on what. Yes, maybe it's based on money. Also, see the situation. It's just that we are not allowed to explain if somebody is asking for the money. You deny this person to get that money so that can even try to do something. Last month I worked so hard. But what am I getting by the end of this month? $42 for the whole of 30 days. I don't know whether that $42 I'm going to get even. I doubt. Because I don't know when. Even if it is doing work, I work a lot. You also caution. You put a lot of hours, 20 to do what, 20, is it $28, 28 hours on payroll? So now I start now fearing, should I stop working on payroll because my hours will be more? You see? I think we just need to just find something on how to work. Honestly, Jay, for me, I'm willing to do the work, but it's just a lot of things. For me, tomorrow, my laptop, they will come for it. They take their own laptop. My $150 go for free according to the agreement. I have no problem. I will get back to FQN anytime soon. I will communicate if I have laptop. I'll communicate and do job. Maybe I'll do on cyber, on maybe Hydra time. If I get time, I go and pay small and cyber and continue. That's it. You should also let the HR board knows if there is any voting. Let them also understand. Let not take this thing as if like we are all human. Everybody can have situation. We have a situation because we don't get paid on time. It's just work. If workers are not getting payment on time, still the work is not going to get done. Even if they are going to do the recruitment as they say, these the same workers, they're supposed to train those other people who are coming. And how can those, still you have to start from like ground for you to be there. It's still the payroll have to start from like, it's still the same. It's going to be just like think that is going to consider going. I don't think whether there will be a change unless we just fix the situation now. When we do recruits, those recruits people, they get organization that strong team ready to move others people forward. Not the recruit getting the team that is broken. broken team. They will not be stay there for long. If a new recruit, you are telling me come and say, I will do the work, the rest are back pay. What is back pay? Not many people even understand the work back pay. For them, like you always apply on Upwork, on this other thing. You do the work, you are hired for $4 per hour, full stop. By the end of the week, get my payment. I don't know how that payment is done. I don't know how is it going. What I do is the task that I was given. So let's just see, just try to play around the system and see the best way of letting us getting work done. Maybe the other proposal, maybe something that I can maybe propose according to me. Can you make the things simple? Not like we put a lot of steps on one thing. Imagine I waste like 30 minutes doing checking on this, doing all this. Why not just having something that like if it's payroll, like just 5 steps only is done. Like clear one. Do this, this, and this, and this. Full stop. Not like we have more. We have to do this, go there. It's taking time. Let us find the proper way of getting work done. We can redo our system. And like when people are like talking, you should not take it as like somebody's attacking you or what. No, it's just like it's a concern. Everybody's working, even you need money. No one can allow you to stay in a house for the next 3 months without payment. You cannot work and you don't eat. That's the basic thing that also you need to understand. Me, I'll do it some most of my time is at night. This at night. Here, even if I'm sick right now, I cannot even go to hospital because I have no money. Where will I get money? And this I spend all my time. I devoted to FQN. I just come back and I rethink. Let me put all my time. As long as I'm getting my payment, let me put all my time and do full-time job here. I don't care about back pay. As long as I get what I propose there, the rest of back pay. If organization feel like giving me that money in future, it's well and good. That was my turning point. I was just standing back thinking I should go back and do what I feel like is best for me. If organization pay me what I proposed, I don't care about the back pay. If they are willing to give me, well and fine. Unless if they have a good system whereby I just request or organization have a specific time. These like on every year, December or November or October, all people who are there, regardless of being active or non-active, you will get your back pay. I have no problem. I'll just, as long as I'm getting what I propose there, it's okay. The back pay, the organization will come up and say, this is what we need us to focus on. Thank you.
All right. So we missed a break. Are you done, Lucy?
Yes, I'm done.
All right. So under our new policies for our time, we're trying to keep everybody within 6 minutes. So technically it's policy tracking, but it's fine. So I would obviously like to go next so we can continue the round, but do we want to take a break first or we just try to continue? Can I just respond and continue or what? And then we'll take a break in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't know what's going on. I'm just talking and
Oh,
getting...
sorry. Let's
Or
take a
let's just
break.
take 5 minutes because we just need to get
Yeah,
there. 5 minutes
5 minutes.
break.
I was talking since this noise in my background, so I tend to mute that. Forget that I was on mute. Let's take a 5 minute.
I
5
would like
minutes
to
break.
respond to all of these comments, and then if we want to take a break first, that's fine. But I want to respond. So let's take 4 or 5 minute break if you want.
Okay, so do you want to go through all the comments before we take a break, or do you want us to take a break and then come on?
No, I'm ready to respond when it's my turn. So I'm just saying if you want to take a break first, that's fine. But then it's my turn, and I want to respond because there's a lot said.
Yeah, it's your time now. You can just continue.
Go ahead, Jeff.
So I should just go now and not take a break? We're gonna take a break in like 10 minutes or less, like 9 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open.
All right, so just remind everybody our policies are that we do everything within 3 to 6 minutes. That's our goal. And so if I don't do that, then I should be doing policy tracking, which we can continue to practice. So a lot was said. You know, I guess I can start by repeating some of what I said before, which is like, you know, in the end, we have to do the work, right? Like, if we can't do the work, we have to find people who are willing to do the work. Nobody wants to take notes, so I have to ask for like 12th time today on this meeting alone, let alone the 100th or 200th or 500th time. It's like if I continually have to ask every single time and take that much extra time, that is why it's just we're just not doing the work. And that's just an example of it over and over and over and over again. Like if it was for me, like for me, it's outrageous. I bring up every single day that we are on half pay stop or now 53% pay stop, and then we need to create a plan to get off of it, and nobody prioritizes it. Nobody even cares about being on half pay stop. Like there is never going to be a month where the payroll is going to be good pay and we're on half pay stop. So it should be every single day, nonstop. How are we going to get off half pay stop? How are we going to get off half pay stop? Are we going to get off half pay stop? Is it going to be in 3 hours? Is it going to be in 8 hours? Is it going to be in 10 hours? Is it going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be the day after? Is it going to be after that? When exactly are we going to get off half pay stop? Every single day, nonstop. Nobody cares. No one cares that we're on half pay stop until the payroll comes around. Oh, wow, you know, I want to get paid 5 times more money, but I don't want to do the work. Right? It's like, I don't know what to say. Like nobody is going to get good pay for base pay when we're on half pay stop ever. That's not going to happen. If no one wants to do the work and nobody wants to address the actual pay stops, we're going to get crappy base pay. All of the pay happens in the bonus pay, and we can whatever we can agree on to get bonuses, that's fine. But for me, it is not a surprise that our payroll sucks because we didn't do the work. And that's just reality. It sucks. It sucks for me. It sucks for you guys. I do not disagree with any of that. It is a crappy situation. It also sucks that trying to get new workers totally sucks. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going to put up any more worker proposals without basically, you know, failing organization. Like we are on pay stops, like everything's a disaster. Like you're coming into a really bad situation. If you want to work with us, that needs to be very clear on all of our outreach materials.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
All right, my policy tracking starts. So I'm getting at least 0.1 hour policy tracking for going over time. So
Have you been talking for 6 minutes?
No, it's been 3 minutes, right? So 3 to 6 minutes. So if I get to 6 minutes, I'm at 0.25 hour policy tracking. All right. So I want to go over some of our policies. The two things that stand out the most is the back pay benefits. So these are benefits. You know, heaven forbid you can go to our FQN Community Network policies and protocols and guidelines for our personnel. And on that, for the last 5 years or more, I don't know, it says right here in black and white, our back pay policies, which I have copied and pasted into our notes. And I will copy and paste again. Back pay is 100% at risk. It stands for an IOU equity, which means it is equity. It is at 100% at risk. It is held in US dollars. I think that's pretty clear. You have no guarantee of ever getting that money, ever, period. Anytime someone does not get upfront pay, it is accumulating back pay. Back pay is used for our benefit packages. Because we have limited budgets, our expectation is that everyone gets a stipend and meets the minimum hours, and then gets hours go into back pay. Eventually, if you're successful, then we cover all the upfront costs. Then we can have back pay payouts to start paying back pay, right? But that is obviously if we are successful, which obviously at this time we are not. And And then we always start with the most recent back pay. So Lucy, you would always get the back pay from this month before you get the back pay from 2 years. And it also mentions here in our policies that all back pay must represent output and deliverables. No one should be accumulating back pay that does not produce output and deliverables. So we're not even following that policy at all, but it's like, whatever, we just give people back pay for their time, and that it is what it is, even if people don't care about output and deliverables and actually completing the work. So spending time is not completing the work. We have to complete the work. If you're not capable of completing the work, I'm sorry. I'm not capable of completing the work. If I was capable of completing the work, I wouldn't need to hire anybody. So we hire people to complete the work. If you're not able to complete the work, then either two things need to happen. One, we need to hire someone else, or two, we need to change the work. Right? So I agree that it would be great if everything was simple. That's why we're hiring people to do work. That is the work. The work is the responsibility training, organizing, updating the responsibility training, organizing, simplifying the responsibility training, organizing, improving our processes, improving the systems, improving the responsibilities.
Please stop. Close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
All right, I'm at 0.25 hour pause tracking. So that is the work. If people can't do it, then they can't do it. It's not for everybody. Once you have back pay benefits, right, you are entitled to a lot of benefits, right? This includes proposals for getting your back pay turned into upfront pay, even though it's 100% at risk. It also allows you paid leave, paid vacation. It allows you for paid bonuses, and it also allows for health benefit expenses. So if you need to go to the doctor or the hospital or whatever, and you need that cost reimbursed, right, you can get that approved in our benefits package. So that's up to you. If you need to go to the hospital, then propose it and we can work it out and allow you to get your costs covered if it's in our budget. I mean, we have, I don't think it's a lot of money, but it's like, I think it's like $300 to $500 a quarter for health costs. I don't know, we can look it up in the budget, how much money we have. It's not a lot. But we certainly have that available for people if they need help with their health expenses. In addition to that, you can also sell out your back pay benefits, and they're worth at least 10 cents on the dollar. So if you have $100 of back pay, you can minimally get $10, right? Because we do have that all set up in our model for how much the value, the backing value. So in terms of our 1.5 hour policies, again, you have to do the work. Like, you can't spend 100 hours on one thing and just not do the work every week. Of course, it's an hour and a half per responsibility per work assignment, right? That's the work that's being assigned. If you don't want to work more than an hour and a half, you don't have to. And if you're on 50% pay stop, exactly, of course, it's going to take 3 hours to make up for the 1.5 hour responsibility. That is exactly how it's supposed to work, right? So if you want to be on half pay stop, you don't want to focus at all day after day after day to get off half pay stop, and we stay on half pay stop, then 1.5 hours times half pay stop equals 3 hours. That is exactly what it is. You have to work twice as much to get the same pay. That's what half pay stop is. That's why it sucks. That's why we should constantly be trying to get off of it, but nobody cares to do the work, right? We're not talking about it. No one even wants to prioritize it, ever.
Time to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
So as far as conflict of interest, corruption, acting out, manipulation, all that stuff, nobody does it on purpose. I would never use that term to describe someone's personality. I am not in any way saying that you, Lucy, are manipulative. Neither are you. Okay, neither of you are manipulative people. You simply, anybody who manipulates anything, anybody who does a conflict of interest, anybody who acts out, anybody who does corruption, it's not on purpose. By definition, all of those actions happen just because you're doing things in your best interest for yourself and your family. It is not on purpose at all. It's just a normal human action that, unless you create policies and checks and balances, people inherently are corrupt. Because when you give someone power, they're going to use that power to help the people that benefits themselves and their friends and their family. That's what people do. It's just a fact of life and society, right? And it is not something anybody does on purpose. It just happens because everybody is always going to make decisions in their best interest for themselves and their family. That is just society. I don't know if you can mute it. It's really loud, like the yeah, really loud. Anyway, so the point that I'm trying to make is that it's not, when you call what the way I feel like when you guys said it to me is that you're saying that in general that I am a manipulative person. That's what I'm hearing from you, and that's why I don't like it. I'm not in any way trying to say that you guys are manipulative at all, or that you are, acting out or anything like that in general. It's just like for that one moment in that particular action, for that particular vote in that particular moment, you did something that was, it doesn't matter whether it's on accident, because I'm not saying you did it on purpose at all, but it's an act that leads towards corruption, because corruption is an inherent natural process that happens because people simply make decisions in their own best interest. That's it. So you can look up conflict of interest on Google, on every website. Every single organization has a conflict of interest policy. It's in every single organization's bylaws. It is nothing at all personal. It is just a normal functioning of business. If you guys don't want to learn how businesses work, this is not the place for you. Go somewhere where you have no responsibility and they just tell you what to do and you do it. You can't say anything. You're not involved in the business. That's fine. That's what you want to do. But if you want to learn about how businesses function and be involved in our cooperative as a member, you need to understand conflict of interest and policies related to our bylaws and the process of running a business, because it's everywhere. So just look it up on YouTube. As far as working in our organization and all the pay stops and everything and getting, back pay, it's ownership. If you want to own your involvement in the organization, that's fine. But if you don't care about the ownership, then volunteer. You can change your POP and you can make your POP a volunteer. If you want to volunteer, volunteer. You are not volunteering when you're getting equity ownership and you own and have decision making in the organization. That is not volunteering. And if you want to call it volunteering, then you can volunteer. And you can change your POP and you can say that you want to volunteer, and that, or which means that you're giving all of your equity and ownership away to the cause of your choice or organization or whatever. That's how we define volunteering, is that all of your value, which is still tracked, is donated. Right? So anyways, I could go on and on and on, still pretty upset. I would like to get us focused on the work, but we can't work if nobody wants to work. The payroll process is very, very functional. It works very well. You have your base pay, which is based on base hours and base work, which means no bonuses. If you want to get paid to not do the work, it's a bonus. So let's get to bonus payroll. Let's do the base payroll. Let's do the token base payroll, and let's go to the upfront bonus payroll. Let's do it. I'm ready. I would love to get my bonuses. I would love to do all of that, get everyone paid for their overtime hours, get everyone paid for everything, and that's the bonus payroll. And we can have the UMCUS discussion. It's really not that hard. What is difficult is that every step of the way is just blocked and blocked and blocked. Nobody just wants to do the work. Everyone just wants to complain every step of the way. And so it's going to take 10 times longer. And that's what's going on. That's why everything's taking so long. If no one wants to do the work, that's fine. We can hire someone else to do the work. And if everyone wants to quit, then everyone can quit. We'll find someone else to do the work. I don't know. I'll do it on my own if no one else wants to do anything, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense for me to sit here and do the payroll by myself and then no one can get trained on how to do it. But if you don't want to work on payroll, just let us know and I'll just, we can just figure it out. So I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, I obviously agree it's a terrible situation. Oh, I did have one question for you, Lucy. Is your payment still World Remit? Lucy, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Yes.
So World Met, right?
Yes.
So we'll send you the $350. Like, you can do whatever you want with it. You know, if you just want to disappear and spend the money on yourself and do whatever you want for your family and your food and going to a hospital or whatever and stop working with us, that's fine. You're empowered to do whatever you want to do. You know, if you want to work and get the payroll done, you know, today or the next day and then send that and have more money, you can do that. You know, I don't know what to say. Like, you literally told us 3 days ago that there was an issue.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
That there was an issue with your computer. Right? So it's like, I'm sorry that, you know, we literally spent the last 3 days trying to address your issue and help you as much as possible. You could have requested reimbursement. You chose not to. You wanted to own the computer yourself. You want to do the back pay yourself. That's fine. And so we voted on it. We did it under our policies. And so now it's up to you to decide what you want to do from there. So, you know, obviously it's not good enough. I don't think it's good enough. We are screwed as an organization. We don't have a lot of money. You know, I can't get any payment. I haven't gotten anything either, you know, and it really sucks for me as well. But I don't think it's fair for me to have to take all of the hits and then no one else that matters. Everyone just gets paid to not do the work. I don't think that is okay. And I don't think anyone else thinks that's okay either, because obviously no one's ever wanted to do that in the past. But, you know, the bottom line is that we don't have a lot of time left to figure things out. We need to find people who do want to work and do want to figure out how to get all of the work done, not just the work that you want to do personally. It has to be all of the work or nothing, because if we don't do all of the work, it doesn't matter. So if every single day you don't come to work saying, what is the status of all of the work? That should be the number one thing you do as a worker. And if you just don't care what all of the work is, if all you care about is the work that you do and getting your pay, then you're missing the entire point of showing up for work, for FQN. You know, we have to do all of the work, not 5% of the work, not 10% of the work. It needs to be like 75 to 95% of the work must get done every month to be functional. Otherwise, we have no chance. So every single day we show up, and it needs to be, okay, have we gotten all the work done that needs to get done today? Yes or no? What isn't getting done? And you need to know everything that's not getting done so that we can move it forward tomorrow or the next day or whatever. Otherwise, we're totally screwed. And we need to find people who can do that. If you're not able to do that, that's fine. But then the focus can't be on you. The focus must be on hiring someone else. So that means that we have to hire someone who's $25 an hour and everybody else has to be fired because we can only hire someone who's actually capable of doing the work for a very expensive amount of money. Then let's do that. Whatever it takes. I'm fine firing myself. We can hire somebody. I will go get another job. I will put all my money. Well, I've been putting all my money into this for decades. You know, I'm fine hiring other people and not paying myself so that the work gets done. I don't care about paying myself. I don't care at all. I'm fine quitting 100 million times over if we can find someone to do the work and pay them instead. Me getting paid is irrelevant to trying to help make this a better world and find people who can actually do the work.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open
Anyways,
your eyes.
I think I'm 1 hour policy tracking for going over. So 1 hour policy tracking for going over time. I think I went over time about 10 minutes. Check. So anyways, I'm done. Do we want to take a break?
Yes.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break and come back and we can continue. It'll go back to Tay and then we can go through the round again and see if we can make any progress.
Okay.
Break.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
All right. Anyone back?
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm back.
Also, I want to change this thing right here. It's like on line 161. It's not if you don't know how to run a business. It's if you don't want to learn how to run a business. If you do not want to learn how to run a business, this is not the place for you. We're here to run a business together. This is a cooperative, right? We don't care if you know how to run a business. If you don't know how to run a business, you come here and you can learn. We'll train you how to run a business. Anyways, Ate, it's your turn.
Okay. Um, I wasn't using the word manipulation to define your personality. It was just the situation at hand
What
that
was
made me use that word. Pardon?
what was the situation?
The situation of payment, the personal
Payment, but I know, but that's
conflict
all we
of
ever focus
interest.
on. 90, like more than half of our time is spent focusing on pay. So my request was and still is to specifically state what exactly I did.
Conflict of interest, the word conflict of interest and manipulation.
I just don't understand what you're saying.
When you said we, there is conflict of interest and manipulation, that was the words that you used that caused all.
I know that triggered both of you. It triggered you in the past, it triggers you now. So we need better
Time to
vocabulary.
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
But there's no way to finish this contention until we address that issue. As a policy in the organization, we must be able to talk about conflict of interest. We must be able to talk about acting out. We must be able to talk about corruption. We must be able to talk about manipulation. And so there needs to be clarity on the vocabulary for when and where and how we talk about those things. There's no possible way in a business that's trying to be social business to, be fair and equitable and equal to not talk about those things, right? So if
Yeah, as
every
you
time
said,
we bring
we
this
need
up
to.
and it creates vibes and creates a whole situation, that is a major problem that must be addressed before we can move forward, right?
Yeah, we need to know when to talk about it.
Apologize for that. I apologize for that. I said to you that we need to find better vocabulary. We need to find ways to communicate about this that doesn't trigger you, but we have to communicate about it. We can't just ignore it and not talk about it and not address it. That is not going to happen. But my request to you was, why did you call me a manipulative? Because I was talking about
Jay
it
is
specifically in terms of just the vote, nothing more.
I said you are manipulating because of I explained earlier when you said someone is using is manipulating the vote. When you said manipulating the vote, I look at the way you are equally talking about the vote. To me, it's the same definition. Because if someone votes and you say the person is manipulating the vote, means you yourself you are manipulating the person. You cannot see how the vote was
Yeah.
manipulated.
So I manipulated the vote twice today, right? I changed my vote twice so that it would be one would be
Yes.
something. That is exactly so. I changed my vote from a 6.9 to a 7 to make sure this is a 7 it passes, which obviously manipulates the vote. And I did policy tracking because it's against policy, right? And then I did it twice, right? I did it once yesterday and once today. I changed my vote because it was a 6.5, and I changed my vote from a six from a 7 to I don't know what I did. Changed it by point zero 0.01 to make it a 6.499999, so that it was clear that the policy proposal did not pass. Right? So yes, I broke policy, and that is a form of manipulating the vote. Right here, 0.5 hour policy tracking to change my vote. The proposal was 6.4999 instead of 6.5 to make sure that it didn't pass. And I did it again today. I changed my vote from 6.9 to 7 so the proposal clearly passed. So,
Time to
but that was
stretch.
it.
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
When I manipulated the vote, I did it, and then I did my policy tracking, and then I acknowledged it, and then it's over. I started, I ended it, and then that's it. But what I'm hearing from you is that I'm constantly manipulating everything regarding the payments of the workers. That's what I'm hearing from you, which is very different than a single individual vote. And you're not clarifying exactly what I am manipulating. You're just saying generally all payments in general are being manipulated by the treasurer. You're saying that as a treasurer, I am literally corrupt. That's what you're telling me. That I shouldn't be the treasurer. I'm literally the treasurer. I'm the one who oversees all the payments. And you're telling me that I'm corrupt, that I'm manipulating everything, all the payments to everybody. That's what I'm hearing. Is that what you're saying? Or am I missing something? I just don't understand.
Jay, I don't know if it's still my turn. Is it my turn?
What?
Is it my turn?
It is your turn, but I'm requesting you to answer this. Let me answer this. And I'll do more policy tracking for, um, you know, interruption. Did you
Can I
want to
speak?
finish?
Can I now talk, Jay, or do you still
I'm
have
waiting
something
for
to say?
you. Yes, it's your turn.
It
I
is your
did.
turn, madam.
Thank you. Then I really like to talk. I don't want you to be talking and then tracking policies. It's distracting me. Can I go ahead
Okay,
and finish?
but I will break policy if I feel like you're not addressing my request applicably. It's just that, yeah, but if you want to ignore it, that's fine. But continue.
I'm not ignoring. I've been speaking. My the reason why I said you are manipulating is because when it comes, as I said it, when it comes to giving workers money, you bring up policies that hinder the work that hinder the payment of wages. That is what I've said.
You bring up policies that what?
Is it clear? That hinders the payment
The
of
reason I
work
said that you're
from getting
manipulating is that when it
agreement.
comes to giving workers money, you bring up policies. So what is that? That's it?
Yes,
Okay, so you're saying that by following policies that I'm manipulating the process. That's what you're saying.
you're not following the policies. You're bringing up policies that
Time to
are not
pause.
verifiable.
Please
How can we
stop.
verify them?
Close your eyes.
That the
Count.
What
policies
One,
policy needs to
exist.
be
two,
verified?
three, four, five. Open your eyes.
What policy
Pardon?
needs to be verified?
Like conflict of interest. How do you verify it?
It was
Why are
passed
we
by
not told?
7.5 vote. The conflict of interest policy was approved by 7.5.
Jay, the issue is why
Almost.
don't we know beforehand that this is a policy, this is how that is happening? Why is it that it's
Okay,
always
so
during the
because we
situation
don't do
that
the
the
work,
policy comes up?
We don't do the work. That's what you guys are paid to do, is doing the documentations and help organize all of the policies and get them organized. I'm working on a website where we can organize all the policies perfectly and get them all databased and organized. You know, we've done it multiple times in the past, and we need to continue to do the policy organizing. Right now, the only way to see the
So
policies is searching
are
on
you
Discord.
confirming that we have a website that has all the policies?
No, we have to do the work. That's what I'm paying people to do the work for, is to get organized and do that. We need to organize all of our policies as a co-op. Absolutely 100%. The policies need to be organized. This particular policy is detailed in the bylaws that have been approved by the board of directors. So like you can click right here on this link and you can go to the CCC bylaws and it tells you exactly which line, section 2.7, go to section 2, wait, bylaws section 2.7, no, oh, here we go, 2.7, yeah, it's just not in the thing, so this is heading 4, so this just needs to be changed to heading 4. Yeah. So they go through the conflict of interest in relationship. You know, once a conflict of interest has been identified, that even though the board director advisor can vote, their vote can be removed and omitted from the final tally or legal decision that is made. Right? This is the conflict of interest in regarding a vote. It's exactly what I've said over and over again. Once the conflict of interest has been identified, then even though a board director or advisor can vote, their vote can be removed and omitted from the final tally or legal decision that is made. And then we voted on it again and got 7.5 agreement on this proposal, specifically in the
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, relax.
so specifically in the voting form that we certified. So the voting form was certified by almost supportive consensus, and it was this one on line 213. I'll bold and make it, you know, colorful. And you can see the link to the analytic results here. You know, so this is the proposal to require right here, for policy proposal for voting on your own pay or the pay of a spouse. This obviously passed 5 votes for an 8, 2 votes a 7, and the 1 vote was a 6. So 5, 6, 7, 8 people voted on this proposal to pass it. Plus the board of directors approved it as part of our board policies. I don't know how much more verified you can be. If you want to vote no on it, you're welcome to vote on it. The link is right there. Let's see, we'll discuss it.
Okay.
But I'm breaking policy because it's like you're sitting here asking where to verify the information. I already verified it twice over, and so I'm verifying a third time for you if you want. And I'll do my policy tracking again. Yeah.
Okay, so then I think we are clear on that. The policy is there. Okay, so you're not manipulating the system. Can we move ahead?
Okay, so do you want to continue?
No, we already came to conclusion that the policy is there. So from every indication, you are not manipulating the system. So I'm sorry for that. Check.
What are you sorry for?
For saying you were manipulating the system.
So you're saying that I'm not manipulating the system now?
According to the policy there, it shows you are not manipulating.
Okay. Lucy?
Yes.
So Atea was just saying that she was just upset about the fact that the policy wasn't verified, and now she says it is verified.
According to my own view, I think she has not really mean like you are manipulating the system.
1, 2, 3,
Maybe like acting, as you said before, we can use the word acting.
Who are you talking about?
You're asking me about Ate.
No. Atea is doing nothing. Atea is not manipulating anything at all
Mhm.
at this time.
Okay, I'm just responding
I
on
said she
regard on
was
manipulation. I think that we are. I'm just responding to that
okay.
about manipulating things. For me, I don't think whether she really meant you are manipulating the system. Maybe the terms that use is like different, but deep down, I think she does not. She has not mean that you are manipulating the FQN system. Maybe it's just that the vocabulary, maybe acting, maybe there's some. We need to get a better way of saying it, but all in all, I think we are on the same page. We have the policy that confirm. I think also we'll make sure every time when you are voting, that policy should be there so that before someone vote or before anything, we'll have the policy that guide that vote so that it
Yeah.
will help.
So I want to make a whole entire policies database and get everything organized with all of our policies. But again, that is the work. That is literally the work that we're hiring everyone to do. It's going to be part of our, our TBA sessions and all of our other sessions. So, I can't just magically have all of the policies appear perfectly organized without work. And internal operations work because these are the policies for our co-op. So, and I want to add documentations for policies as one of our, assigned work priorities. So, anyways, I don't know what else to say here, but I will say this right here. Okay, can you mute, please? It's just really, really loud. The buzzing, the buzzing. Good. You've never been this bad at Tay. I don't know why it's so buzzing and but whatever. We'd rather have you buzzing than not at all. All right, so let me just address a couple things. Um, the biggest
Time
problem.
to take a break. Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
The biggest problem is that there is no question that some policies exist only in Jay's head. Okay, this is a fact. This means two things. One, that very few policies because we never ever get to that point. But there is always a time at some point in the future where we just haven't gotten to the point in the policies and in the processes where it's just necessary to even write them down because we don't have time for it. We can't sit here and write down everything that needs to happen 5 years from now, right? It would be pointless. So there is some of that happens. Either way, FQN can overrule J at any time and any point, including what we did the last 3 days. Everyone voted against me and everything still passed. From there, obviously, J can create his own organization, and I do and will if needed, right? So we can always have multiple different versions, but for now, we seem to be in consensus and agreement on the current trajectory, which is fine. But with that said, even with 90% of the policies written down, they are disorganized. It's difficult to find them. And more importantly, it is very easy for Jay as the owner, treasurer, and founder to manipulate this situation if I wanted to. So that is a problem, right? So if I wanted to manipulate the situation, I could pretty easily do it, which is against all of our values in relationship to accountability and all of that, right? So we do have the board. Like if I was out of control for some reason, the number one place where the issues would get addressed would be the board of directors, right? The HR board doesn't really have any power, right? They are only assigned to oversee the budget and the payroll. But as far as actual manipulative processes that if people felt like what I was doing was wrong and against policy and or was not accountable and was not legal or whatever, then it should go to the board of directors immediately, right? So there are checks and balances, even if I did try to manipulate things, because it would be easy for me to do that because I have a lot of power in that, no one else steps up as an executive, right? I'm the only person who's even an executive on the team because no one else wants to do the work. It's a lot of work, all the work that I do behind the scenes to run the entire organization, well, the whole network really. So that's a problem. And the way we address that, so we obviously, one thing we need to do is we need to document, and organize all policies, right? So that's part of our documentation policies and responsibilities. Very, very important. But another thing we have that we do is called the organizational assessment. And the organizational assessment has found that I, Jay, am a problem in that I am, can't remember the term we use, but basically a dependent for a lot of details of the organization. And so the goal is to make sure that no one individual worker is has too much involvement or dependence. So the organization is not too dependent on me. So that's part of the organizational assessment, which needs to be finished and completed. And then we need to eventually get to the point where FQN doesn't even need me. That's the goal, is that I am not needed within FQN and I can step out. That's where we want to be. And that's part of what we call the organizational assessment. So those two things need to happen. In the bigger picture, one, we need to document, organize all the policies, and two, we need to complete the organizational assessment and address the fact that I am too integral. Like there's too many responsibilities under my purview. But I can't force other people to take my responsibilities and step up and run the organization. There's just nothing I can do about that. So we are in the situation that we're in, and that is just, and I do everything I can to make sure that I don't manipulate and that everything's verifiable and everything can be double, triple, quadruple checked, all of that, and publicly transparent, whatever I can do to try to ensure that we don't go down a road of corruption. But we need to get the work done. So that's all I need to say. So I want to acknowledge that there are issues, and there are big issues and problems with my involvement. There's no question about that. But with that said, it's kind of unavoidable because of the situation that we're in. And we need to do the work to get out of it, but we're not doing the work. So it's like, let's get to work. Check. So Tay, Lucy, anything else? Otherwise, I think we are ready to wrap up and check out.
I just hope that everything is clear now.
And
It's
the
4
break.
o'clock.
Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
Okay, I think we are on the same page. in every organization, according to me, it's not easy. We have to. It can go ups and down, and by the end of the session, we'll figure it together as a team on how to move forward. And thank you for your time.
Oh my God, tell me about it. Just to make sure you all know, like my family, my my husband, my parents, my brother, everybody's totally like everybody in my life are totally against what I do. No one thinks I should be doing this. So every single day of my life, every time I leave this workspace, it's just negativity comes at me. Everyone's like, why are you wasting your time on this? Why are you even trying to help people in the world? Why are you even doing this? Like, you should just like throw everything away, fire everybody immediately, and go get a job, do something else. That's my life. Nobody supports me in this work. I do it all by myself. All the money that I'll have, all is my own money that I do. Nobody's invested in it. No one's donated. We have no grants. All just comes from me, creating this out of nothing for decades now. So it's not.
So we definitely need to focus on the grants and all the rest. And work on that.
All of it, yeah. We definitely need to prioritize the income for sure. For sure, but we also need to complete payroll. We need to do functionality. We need to do recruitment stuff. Lots of prioritizing for it. So, anyways, anything else for the wrap up? I don't know if you want to close anything. Otherwise, let's go ahead and check out. And then I guess we can just check in on.
Jay,
So we did 3 hours. 3 hours session.
Jay, are you
Yeah,
getting me?
yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I see on Discord you said we ended the contention based on artists saying that once the conflict of interest policy was verified, that she does not think that I am actively manipulating the situation. They went on to say it would be good for Ate to clarify and give her perspective. I think I already clarified. So what am I clarifying again?
To the team. I wrote like 3 paragraphs to the team about this whole situation.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So you could send a message to the team and give your perspective, because no one's heard anything from you unless they listen to the recording, right? No one's going to be doing that. All right, so today is day 3, so we are on day 3 of the first quarter. Does that make sense? Okay, that I'm just asking if you don't have to, but I'm just letting you know. And this is
Okay,
the
I'll do.
session, so it'd be 3.25. All right, so it's line 27. Okay, so any other wrap up details that we need to go through besides obviously just getting the work done?
I think we were to certify the
Are you
HR board.
available?
Sorry, Ate, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just asking if you'll be available top of the hour.
In 55 minutes, I may be available to work on whatever we want to. We'll see. I'll let you know on Discord, okay? Okay.
Okay, Jay.
We do payroll. There's functionality. I mean, there's so many things. There's payroll, income, functionality, recruitment. All of the above. But I think we just want to finish payroll this time. I mean, we're so close. And I agree 100%
Yeah,
that
we
it's
should get the bill.
not to get paid on time, which is why we have our new policies that say that payroll must be on time, otherwise we go on pay stop, which is why we're on 53% pay stop right now. because the payroll has not been completed. Well, that brings up another priority, which is like plan to get off task pay stub. You need a plan. Okay, I'm ready to check out. Anything else for wrap up?
Lucy, you were
Budget.
saying something.
I was talking about the budget.
We need to certify the
Certifying the
budget.
budget results.
Are we ready to certify the budget results?
Yes.
Can we just do that real quick right now? Topic 4, certified budget results.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Ate?
Yes, 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 I'm okay.
Okay. Let me test the result.
All right, no objections to topic 4.
Time for breath. Please stop
No
and
objection.
get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1,
I'm
2,
making the tab.
3. Exhale. Relax.
Okay.
So I made the tab. So can we take a break? Do we want to take a quick break and then do the certification?
Okay.
All right, so take a 5-minute break.
Yes.
Come back. We'll certify the budget and then check out, and then we're done.
Yes.
Okay.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Okay, I'm back.
I'm back, but I will just mute because of the background noise. Is it okay?
What?
I'm back, but I'll just mute because of the background noise.
That's oh yeah, but
Is it okay?
yeah, it's fine. But who's doing this? What's going on?
I'm back. I'm back. I'm the one doing. Let me go. The results. So like we have. Oh no, it's budget. Yes, it's here is the results online.
This is option 3, right?
Yeah, those are the options.
Okay. Do you know how to do a certification proposal or no?
I'm not sure about it. I've never done.
Okay. Do you want to do it or should I do it or what?
Time to stretch. Please
Proposal.
Let me do it.
stand
You guys
and
just
move around for 30 seconds.
background noise.
All right. Quick stretch. We'll do the proposal.
So which proposals are these that passes?
Out. It's option 3. We're gonna need to get the link.
Option 3 and which option there?
What?
Yeah, kindly link.
Yes, we have to link the voting form. We
Lucy,
have
please
to
link the spreadsheet.
budget, the spreadsheet. It all needs to be linked, Lucy. Lucy, are you there?
Let me link the links for the vote up there so that you can know the options. You can see. You can click on link to vote.
Oh, look,
You
Jennifer
see.
voted. That's cute.
Yeah, Jennifer vote.
Okay, that will be proposal to certify. Proposal to certify. Option. Option 3. Option 3, right? Yes, option 3, right?
Yeah, option 3 for the budget.
Mhm. So this option include all active workers and include all active workers and include voting to remove Alberto from the budget because he is not attending contentions and differences in worldwide and strategy with a time budget in the red of 774.9.
So we're seeing the link to the budget and the budget value. So where's the link to the budget? Let's go to the link to vote.
Okay,
And voting
budget.
has the link to the budget. So here's the link to the budget.
One,
And then this goes into the details. Details. Okay. And then we can also link the
Time to
responses.
pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let me link the budget.
So
Rise.
the proposal is to certify option 3 passes with a 7.9 vote. and then we need the total price. So then I go into the budget, and it says option 3, time budget, for a total time budget of, I don't see, this is not the link to the budget, ouch. That's policy tracking. The link to the budget is not the link to the budget on the voting form. So if I go to the voting form and I click on link to the budget, it doesn't go to the budget. That is a policy tracking.
How many hours for policy tracking for that?
What?
How many minutes for that policy tracking?
I don't know, 0.25, whatever, it's not a big deal, but you didn't link the budget to the voting form, which is obviously against policy. So
I linked the budget on the voting form.
but it's not. That's what I'm saying. That the policy broke is that when I go to the voting form and I click on the link to the budget, it is just the link to the notes, not the link to the actual budget.
Okay, actually, I think I create the voting form before, then before we create the
Yes,
budget.
and then you didn't update the link properly to the budget, so that's policy tracking.
Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
that is obviously
I'll
so we
rectify.
need the link to the budget, the actual budget, which we still don't have.
I'm just doing it now.
Okay. So we propose to certify the option to pass with a 7.9 vote for XX amount of time for a time budget of, we need to get the amount of the time budget, which is in the red by $772.92. So I'm fine if we want to include, which is in the red. So I'm fine if you want to include all this information.
Done linking the.
Where? Where is the link?
I fixed the link on the phone.
Okay. All right, but you still have to do policy tracking. That doesn't help because the voting's already done. I need the link now in the notes.
Lucy, can you please link it in the note?
Yes, I'm linking in the note as well. On details. I link on detail link to the link to budget.
J to 9:30.
Please stop and get ready. Now inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause. Inhale together, 1, 2, 3, exhale, relax.
Okay, so option 3 is $4,516. $4,516. Okay, which is in the red, $774. So then I also added that we also voted to remove Alberto and all contention with Alberto with a vote of 7.5. Now we can do some questions. Does that make sense?
No. Any question? Yes, Jay, makes sense. Thank you. Is there any question on the proposal?
No,
I presume no. Any concern?
no question.
Any concern? No.
No concerns from me.
Any objection?
No concerns, no objections.
Any
No
so we
objection.
have consensus. Okay, so we have consensus.
I think.
Cool. So as far as the next step here, Lucy, you are tasked with getting the FQNX admin at Gmail account from Alberto. Okay.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
can I do? I message him.
Yes, whatever you can do to try to get the F-Grand X admin. I'm sending official email to him now, so you should probably communicate with him after I send the official email. But yes, and that is correct. So like just start doing that tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
So I'll take care of communicating with Alberto today,
Close
and
your
then
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
yeah, and then tomorrow we can address all the rest of it.
Yes.
All right.
He also make his tab on individual ranking. I think he copy one and put
I did
and
that.
paid one.
I did that.
Yes.
I was just duplicating Alberto's to just try different things for the rankings
Okay.
to see what would happen. That was me.
I think we are done now.
Yeah, let's check out. Actually, we could check in on the wrap up really quick. We ended up with 3.5 hours instead of 3 hours. It's an extra 15 minutes. All right, so I'll start with the checkouts. I would give this session a 6.5. We missed some breaks. There was the contention, but I'm really glad we spent the time on the issues and communications and the vocabulary so that hopefully we can get focused on the work, which would be amazing. Like, I don't know what's going on with Sandra. Like, Sandra is still very new, and I don't know what her capabilities are or whatever. Hopefully, she'll continue to work. This is the first day she really hasn't showed up at all. But between me and Ate, Lucy, you, and Joyce, the four of us could easily run this entire organization if we put our effort into it and all did it together. We're all very capable. So, and we'll see whether Sandy steps up. Obviously, I do not think that Chinendu is going to be capable of doing much. We'll see what happens with Sandy. Sandy certainly can show up on time, which is a good start, but I don't think she's actually taken on any responsibilities yet. But yeah, I would say so. Overall, I give the session a 6.5. I'll be working on the payroll. I'll be working on the income. I'll be working on the recruitment. I'll be working on all of that, as well as communicating with Alberto that he's been removed. And yes,
Okay.
Okay, I'll go next.
Sorry, my machine
I'll
hung.
give
I
the
did not
session
take note. Okay.
okay, leave it to her.
Time.
I'll give the session
Please stop, write down whatever you were about to say, and take a break for 6 minutes.
I'll give the session 6.75. It was a productive session, even though we ended on contention, but I'm very happy that we clarified the vocabulary, the issue, and we're on the same page. I will be focusing on the payroll. I'll mainly equally work on income, and I'll equally be working on the taxes and the bills. Check.
Okay.
See, I can take from
Yes,
now.
I will give session 6.9
Let me see.
for me. Yes, it was not the easy session. It was really hard session. We had a lot, but I'm glad we are all, by the end of the session, we are together and we move on as a team. I think that I'm so happy for that. And thank you so much. Thank you, Ate. Thank you, Jay. And thank everyone who is getting involved. And thank for your time. I think you just have to plan on how to get out of this uh, half pay stop and full pay stop so that we can just do work normal. I'll work on taxes. I'll try to read on how to do amendment taxes. Actually, I'll go through my own time to see what I can do. And I'll also schedule on, I want to do something different actually, like post POS. I want to schedule to work on POS with Jane. And I also want to, I can do a website. I can update website if there is need. I will also work on payroll and any other coming priority. I think we have a lot of priority like function. Yeah, I think this time coming week I just need to focus on uh, client client work and minimize on at least on internal op for a while. Check.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Wait,
Jay,
wait. Yes,
I'm not sure I'll be able to make it again. I don't have power for the past
it's fine.
4 hours now, so my backup is running out.
Yeah, I understand. It's been a long day. Again, we need to keep these main sessions to like an hour and a half if we really want to get focused on work, you know? So we did not prioritize work today.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
We
But
definitely
anyway,
need to
check
break
in. We'll
on
check
our
in
meditation.
Discord. If anyone wants to schedule, we can schedule in like half hour, hour, 2 hour, or half hour, whatever. All right. And Lucy, did you
Okay.
receive the funds or no?
Oh, I did not check
Pardon?
Yeah, check to
my.
see if you received the funds because I did send them.
Thank you, Jay.
I received. Thank you so much, Jay. I
Okay.
really
Hopefully
appreciate.
it helps. I know we need to do more, but you know, with 3 days notice, we can only do so much. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
Jay.
you.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Ciao.
Okay.